What's up, crypto legends? Was this it? Was this the fake out? And now we're going to see a massive big corrective move. We can see the price of Bitcoin dipping slightly below here the support trend line. Now, if we do still maintain here above this last higher low at $23,800 range, then there is a possibility in getting a recovery here, and this has been a fake out also. However, if we do lose this last higher low with a large amount of volume, I'm going to share with you the potential targets that could happen in the next coming hours and days. Now, we're going to be zooming in on the lower time frames and explain here this massive move to the downside, because locally on the lower time frames, we can clearly see with volume that the bears were winning the battle, guys. We're going to go through this movement and what could potentially happen in the next coming hours. We're taking a look at the S&P 500. I'm going to show you a major support level that if we lose, it is not going to be looking good for the stock market S&P 500 in the next coming weeks. And we're taking a dive here at the DXY, because DXY is holding a support level that we did mention here the latest live streams, and it does look like that higher levels for the DXY is possible, and this is not going to be good for Bitcoin. I'll be explaining this technical analysis in this episode, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Daily TA on Bitcoin crypto. Also do live streams to connect with the community. Not financial advisor, do not buy or sell anything that I say. If you do so, do your own research, guys. Now, it does look like that we've had that fake out here to the upside. Was this it, guys? And we are going to see a massive, large corrective move now in the next coming days. It is very, very possible. We do not really know how much of a fake out it's going to be. If it's going to be a small one, if it's going to be a large one. For the moment, it has created that swing failure pattern here yesterday morning Central European time, and now we're getting this corrective move. We're going to go here on the lower time frames to check out the volume, but most importantly, zooming out, what I want to show you here from this ascending triangle pattern scenario, if we do lose this last higher low range from this pattern with a large amount of volume, and we go to low time frames to explain this, guys, I'm going to share with you here how it's very, very likely that that massive continuation to the downside is just highly probable. Okay, we'll be talking about major support levels, okay, and the distance, all right, on that potential move here to the downside where the price action could stop, okay, from this ascending pattern. Now, there's two major levels here, two daily levels to the upside, okay, as resistance, and here as support as well, where we could get a small reaction bounce. Okay, this is only going to give us a chance, all right, not for long in my personal opinion, but just to see that bounce if there's going to be large amount of volume to the downside to give us a better entry, okay, for that continuation to the downside. This is not a level where I would long, especially if the volume is going to be very aggressive to the downside. So let me just explain you, okay, these daily levels. We can see that daily close and open, all right, from the last couple of days. And also here a few days ago, this level hasn't been touched, okay, as resistance or as support, okay. So we could get that reaction, all right, in the next coming hours or days if we hit one of those daily levels. Now, zooming in here slightly, okay, we can see that we're just about, all right, we could create that failed breakout from this low over here. That is also very, very possible. For the moment, we still haven't tapped below this low over here, as you can see on the chart. Okay, we're just a few dollars away. Now, probably once I get this video done, it's probably going to be tapped. We're probably going to create a swing failure. But what I want to share with you, if we do have large volume, okay, breaking this level over here, we could get that bounce on the daily. As you can see here, there's a daily level here from a few days ago. If we break down here largely with volume, we need to pay attention here to resistance zones in the next coming hours, okay, or next couple of days for that potential lower high and continuation to the downside, all right? If we do get that spike of red volume, guys, this is going to be it. This is the moment that I will be bearish. I will be looking for some shorting opportunities only on those bounces and hitting the resistance zones, okay? Now we're going to go to the lower time frame here quickly. I'm going to explain, all right, that scenario. Where are going to be my targets? Okay, let me just zoom out here quickly on the 4 hourly and quickly explain to you, all right, how if we do solidly break down from this last higher low of this pattern, it is likely that we are going to come down to this level over here, point of control, 22,800 range, okay? Now, of course, that level is also from the low to the high is the 618, okay, as you can see from this pivot low range to the pivot high, it's the 618 Fibonacci retracement. We've got point of control right there. That is a level where if I'm getting into some short positions, okay, after these volume breakdowns, it is a target range. It's a range where I would be taking some profits. Now, of course, I would be jumping into some shorts on the retracement, guys. This for me is not a shorting level, okay? This is still not a successful breakdown from this range. We could easily come back up here and get acceptance and come and test the highs again, okay? So this is something very important to note. Once we get that solid breakdown from this last higher low, then of course that continuation to the downside to hit this major target zone is just highly probable. Now if we do get the ascending triangle target range, okay, from the low part to the high resistance zone from the breakout, you can see that you could actually dip slightly below the point of control range, all right, and also the 61865 level. But you could dip slightly below that range and then get a huge, massive bounce, okay? If this were to happen and you are in any short positions, this would definitely be a take profit zone because you could get a relatively large bounce here in the next few days from this zone. So a level that I'm paying attention, okay, to see a potential reaction, all right? If we do start getting some double bottoms, fake outs here, then we are possibly going to get that heavy bounce from this range, okay? Something to pay attention in the next coming days if we do hit that big support level. Now, until that happens, this is still very much, not losing the structure with high volume. This could still be a fake out, okay? Remember, when we break out from a high resistance zone or a high support level, we want to see a breakdown. We want to see it break it with a large amount of volume. For the moment, this price action is only dancing around. It's dancing around these lows. I do not see any big major selling pressure with a large price action breakdown, guys. Till this does not happen, then of course I still think that the possibility and having a recovery from this level is just very likely because we're still above the last higher low from this ascending triangle pattern, right? If it makes sense, right? There's no solid breakout, as you can see here with this price action. Now let's just zoom in, okay? Let's explain how yesterday, all right, the price action to the downside was extremely bearish, okay? I had problems with my internet connection, but we were talking about this scenario. I got into a long position, got stopped out at break even finally. But after this scenario, the volume was quite bearish to the downside, okay? There was a setup here where we failed to break down from this low. It was a quick long position, okay, right over here, as you can see on the 15-minute time frame. Let me just give me that brief explanation because these are quick scalping day trade scenarios, guys. Remember, we're kind of longing at support, taking profit at resistance. We're shorting resistance, taking profit at support, right? So just to briefly explain this, we had this last higher low, okay, from this uptrend, as you can see, for the last few days. We lost this level on the 15-minute and we had a swing failure pattern, right? We failed to break out this range and we came all the way up here to the point of control right over here at $24,700 level, all right, with a big massive bounce, okay? So that's from 24,400, failing to break out this level over here with the 618 from this low to the high. As you can see, from the pivot low to the pivot high, you're hitting 61865, as you can see in the blue, and you're failing to break out this higher low pivot. And of course, you're getting rejected massively at the point of control, right? So that's a quick little long day trade, all right? As you can see here on the chart, level to level trading, all right? I know a lot of people, okay, potentially want to see higher levels. Sometimes I do have higher targets and I get stopped out at break even, okay, a lot of the times. But if you're doing these scalp day trades, all right, level to level, understanding that this is a huge support range right over here, resistance level at 24,700, then it's definitely a target zone, okay? And of course, you could be using other indicators for taking profit, such as the VWAP and other indicators, as you can see here on the chart, right, for that local bounce on the lower time frames. So this is the 15-minute. Taking a look at the 5-minute chart, all right. The local trend, no doubt, the pressure was down, okay? So I know the context, okay, here, zooming out, looks relatively still bullish. We need to acknowledge that this has already been a fake out to the upside. The bulls haven't managed to have that pressure to the upside, breaking above this level. If on the lower time frames, okay, yes, you can long support levels, but you can also short resistance zones. And this is why it's extremely important to know how to read the volume and the selling pressure. Look at the trend here on the lower time frame, okay? When I did the live stream, we were trading around about this range. But then afterwards, what happens? You're having massive moves to the downside with big selling pressure. What you need to understand here, okay, if we do take a look at the high volume nodes right over here, the high volume candles, okay, we can see this one right there, this one right over here. We can see this and this. If I do get this box zones with large amount of volume, okay, you can see that you are getting heavily rejected from these levels over here, okay? So as you can see, big red volume right over here from this zone. You're getting that breakdown with a large amount of volume. You're correcting here to that high volume range, and that continuation is just going down. So you're getting the selling pressure, okay, the whales pushing the price down, and the bulls coming with low volume to that high volume level and then pushing the price still back down. This is just basically seeing the massive trend here on the lower time frames, seeing the volume pressure, guys, right? It's pretty understandable. They can just see that local trend on the lower time frame. Now, of course, on higher time frames, we can see that, you know, if you are trying to get into some long positions, you just need to be really, really cautious and have very good risk management, trying to get into these lows and being very, very protective as you get these bounces, because that possibility, all right, on the higher time frames for that day trade, swing trade, all right, because it's higher time frames, that you could get that bounce, but you want to be very, very defensive, and you want to understand that on the local lower time frames, you're getting big selling pressure to the downside, okay? So potentially you could be looking for swing long positions very defensively, and you could be scalping short, okay, these this momentum on the lower time frames to the downside, okay, just so you can understand that theory. Now, where are we right now? Okay, we are just about testing these lows. There's not much volume testing these lows. We haven't tested them yet. I would like to see a failed breakout from these lows. If it does create a failed breakout and we do see a massive wick here with high green volume, that would be clearly a sign of strength, guys. If that does happen, then I would be ready to get into a potential long position, because I would see, you know, there's a sign of strength here. You got massive green volume, for example, here with a wick here failing to break out the last higher low here on the 20th of February, all right, from this ascending triangle support level. Then I would be looking for that long position, being very, very defensive as well, okay? I want to see a sign of strength and a failed breakdown from the lows. For the moment, we're just breaking down. We are continuing the trend. As you can see, volume is still breaking down with a large amount, okay, of bearish pressure, as you can see, okay. So what I want to see is a massive spike, massive wick with the green volume, and that would clearly be a sign of strength to get that move to the upside, okay. It's something that I'm looking for here to get into a long position. Now, not much to say, guys. Once we get a breakdown below this level, I do see that possible continuation to the downside. Big volume on the 1 hourly time frame, breaking down from this low over here. Then I do see that continuation to the downside. If we do get that bounce, it's just going to give us, from that daily, it's just going to give us a larger opportunity to have that momentum to the downside to hit those targets of $22,800 range, all right, that I did mention just a few minutes ago. Not much to say, okay? We could get acceptance back inside of the triangle. If it does get acceptance, we do see a sign of strength and we do get this momentum, guys. This is just still going to be a higher low, and the possibility in coming back up here and testing the highs is going to be possible. Once we get that acceptance, that move up here, well above 24,300, 400 range, then it is likely that we are going to get that push up, okay? We want to see acceptance. We want to acknowledge that this is getting back here inside of the range, and that momentum, okay, this has been a failed breakout. The next major level inside of this zone is coming back to the highs potentially, okay? So if we fail the highs, of course, as you can see, failed breakout, we're coming down to test the support level or the last higher low, right? This range, it's being tested right now. We're not seeing the selling pressure. We're not seeing the selling pressure here at this level. If we get acceptance, I see this level being good for scalp longing opportunities on the retracements, okay, till we do come back up here to these levels, having very good risk management. Remember, for those experienced traders on Bybit, for the first 100 users till the 28th of February, if you deposit $100, you are getting $30 US Tether airdrop at the rewards hub. You must do KYC to claim these $30. That's basically 30% of bonus on top of your 100 deposit. Of course, they do have still that $30,000 worth of bonus, depending on what you deposit, okay, up to $30,000. This is my favorite crypto trading platform, guys. Let's go here to the stock market S&P 500 because I want to go quickly through this level, guys. I want to explain, all right, we did talk about this on a few live streams ago, right, on Elliott wave theory, where we do see these massive waves to the downside, okay, 5 waves to the down, 5 waves here to the downside, and potential ABC correction. We are inside of the C correction, in my opinion. I don't see us breaking above successfully 4,300 points. Of course, yes, we could get to the red box zone, but I don't see much more momentum to the upside. This is going to be a very interesting zone for the stock market if we were to get above that range. Of course, we're well below that level, so let's just go locally here to see what is going on. What I want to explain here right away, that if we do lose this level, okay, that for me is the last higher low. It's the last higher low from this structure, okay. Let me just quickly explain right there. Okay, we can see highs, higher lows right there, and higher highs, right, higher lows and higher highs. Look at this big jump here from this higher low. This is currently where we at, okay, structurally. We are looking at this last higher low here on the higher time frames, where if we do break, okay, and we're just about testing that level, this could be a fake out. We could get a massive bounce. If we start breaking this low, guys, it's not going to be looking great for the stock market, okay, in my personal opinion. We'll be breaking here the local structure, and I do see that continuation. Of course, this doesn't mean that we're going to break down here and then have that big massive continuation. You could get that big massive bounce, but then obviously I will be looking here for a lower high. We'll be talking about this in the next coming days. If we do lose this level, then of course that is it for me. Any bounce here that we're looking here to hit other resistance zones that will be explained in the next coming days, I will be looking for shorting opportunities. Of course, this could be a failed breakout like we did have right over here. We got a really nice bounce from this low right there, as you can see. Nice bounce, then finally it was breaking down. We could get that bounce also. Failed breakout from this low over here and get a beautiful bounce, okay? This is very much possible. Today we do have the FOMC minutes, all right, in the next coming hours, so stay cautious with your trading, guys, because we do have the FOMC minutes at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Central European time. FOMC minutes, guys, we could see some volatility today, all right? So stay a little bit cautious with your trading. Could have some spikes up and down, all right? Nobody knows really where that direction, okay, where after the FOMC minutes are going to be. Diving here to the DXY, guys. DXY, I'm relatively bullish on the DXY. I've been bullish on DXY for the last few weeks since we were hitting here this 101 range. We finally got the massive bounce from the level. We formed here a kind of bull flag, okay, a descending channel, breaking here the resistance, very much expecting here this value area low from December of 2022 on the DXY to break out. Now testing at support, looks like that we're getting a bounce here. I do think that this high will be hit in the next coming days, guys. Of course, if DXY is going to be bullish, then this is not going to be great for Bitcoin, okay? I think it's going to be quite bearish in the midterm. On the DXY, I do see in the next coming weeks, okay, we could see that volatility back down, but I don't see a massive move down on the DXY to test these lows, with just a little bit of volatility potentially, okay, at this range of 103. But that continuation on DXY for the coming weeks to test this level over here, this is going to be my major target for the coming weeks at 107, all right? This is going to be the level that I'm looking for, as we have broken out successful here from this descending wedge. We did see a fake out. We can see the support holding, finally breaking out, getting above a huge resistance zone now, as you can see, which is the 103.4. And now it is time for the DXY, okay, to get that momentum in the coming weeks. Of course, this will not be good for Bitcoin. Guys, this is going to be it for this update. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in the next one.